So now I'm going to a layout that I had set up earlier. And I'm gonna go to the hybrid layers over here, and then I'm going to export them one by one. So heavy PDF 11 by 17 landscape vector black and white, and that should be okay. So this should be 1 to 1. This unit should be always 1 and print. I'm gonna create another folder, and I'm going to name this heavy and save as a PDF. And then, so this is what I get as a PDF. Now I'm gonna do that for all the layers one by one. So heavy light for the next one. PDF, that looks okay. One things to note, this dash line over here, I'm actually these dash lines, the blue lines over here, I'm actually just exporting that as just a continuous lines, and then I can make that to dash lines inside of the illustrators, and that's what I'm gonna do because I would have better control of the spacing for the dash lines. Okay, so now I exported all these lines. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna actually render this exploded accent. So I'm going to hide all these, hide that, and then I'm going to turn on the ground, kind of like this. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is so I have to duplicate this over here. And then now I'm going to hide this one, and now I'm gonna move this to somewhere at 0, 0 point, which is, yeah, over here, 0, 0, 0 point. And so I'm going to look at this PDF. This is uploaded to the Canvas under the assignment number 1, so you can download this too. So by looking at this, if you remember from the last time from the isometric tutorials, so I'm going to, this is very specific how we have to do it. So select everything, and then looking at it in a perspective, you have to click on this blue arc over here, this one, left click, and then type. So this is a northwest isometric drawings. So 135, enter. And then this is crucial. You have to click somewhere to deselect um, uh, inside of the Rhino. And then I have to select that again. And then I have to click on this red arc over here, not green, not blue. It has to be red. Click on that, and then type minus 54.74. So minus 54.74 and enter. So now this is this gives us the uh, top view that looks like isometric, that we can, if we look at it from the top, this is the isometric drawings that we are trying to create. So I'm going to actually delete those guys over there, and then I'm gonna start the D5 render, but of course I have the VPN on, so I have to disconnect. If you're using VPN off campus, you have to disconnect first, and then start the D5 render. I'm gonna click on new project. And then what I'm gonna do is turn off the terrain, and then you could use the same D5 render profile that we created in the isometric view as well. Uh, but I'm just gonna do this. Um, but I'm just going to do this from the beginning so that we are kind of okay. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go to the top view over here so that I can see this um, exploded axon view top. And then I'm gonna go to the HDR, change that to pure white. And in here, I usually change the light uh, intensities and things like that. However, this time, and I usually go to the sun over here and increase the sunlight intensity to like this and reduce the disk radius as well as changing the direction of the sun. So I usually have it 45 and 45 over here for altitude and azimuth to get the shadows like this. However, in the exploded axon, this doesn't quite work well because like, you know, you get, of course, get these like funny shadows over here. So I'm actually for this, I'm going to turn off the sun for the moment. And then I'm going to adjust the exposure kind of like this to see the geometries over here. I think I'm gonna just increase the highlight a little bit more. Shadows, yeah, shadow could be somewhere over here. Slope, I think I could increase that to 1. I just have to be careful. Sometimes, like when I do this, it gets all the renderings gets washed away. So I might actually want to have a little bit of the shadows, kind of like this, let's just say. Yeah, so that's what I would like to do for this exploded accents. The other things I have to do, and this you might not have to do it if you're using the same D5 render file from the isometric drawing. So I'm gonna click on the assets, and then I'm going to apply the grazing materials. So let's see if I go into this, I'm gonna just use this. I think that's what I used last time as well. And apply that to the windows over here, as well as the metal. So I'm gonna apply the stainless steel. Okay, yeah, maybe I can just apply that to the window frames over here. So that looks okay. And this time also I'm going to apply floor materials to sort of bring out the little bit of color contrast. So let's say what I could use for that. Wood flooring maybe might be a good place to go. So I'm gonna use this. And then I'm gonna apply that to floors. But of course, I haven't applied the material to the floor. So I'm gonna go back to Rhino to do this and come back to this tutorial. Okay, so now I applied a custom material to floors over here in Rhino. So now I can apply different materials to just floor over here. So I'm gonna go to assets, flooring over here, and I'm gonna try this out over here. So that looks okay. And I'm gonna adjust the size of them. Uh, let's see. Also, it looks kind of okay. I kind of want to make it lighter, so I think. So I'm just gonna. So I think I'm gonna I think I want to use the lighter wood though, so I'm gonna use something different. Maybe this is better for what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna apply that here. And this looks slightly better. Also, it does look like I might have to adjust the sizes to something smaller. So let's just say something like this. So that might be better. I might rotate this to 45 degrees, for example. Oops, maybe the other way, 45 degrees. So that looks uh uh let's see. So if that is too much, 20. Okay. So then this looks kind of parallel to that directions, so to speak. So that might be better. But I think I want to kind of make it more opaque, this material, I think. So I'm just gonna click on that floor and go to this base color map, inspect the file, base color map, and I'm gonna left click this more settings. And then if I adjust these values over here, that will kind of make it a little bit more subtle, so to speak. So maybe that's too saturated, too less saturated. This might be slightly better, I think. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this looks a little bit better, I think. So let's just say this is what I would like to achieve with this. The other things is I might want to get rid of this background colors over here. So what I would have to do here is to again apply different materials for this portion of the wall over here. Also, it would be nice to be able to see this and then the side views. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually gonna explore this. So then select just the top surface over here, and I'm gonna create another layer for this, say, ground surface, and then change the layer of these surfaces to this new layer. Change object layers, and then I'm gonna apply the different materials. So I'm gonna use one of these custom materials. Click OK. So now I can apply material, something like really just basic color is what I'm looking for. So I'm just gonna apply that silicone over here, and then I'm just gonna get rid of that in the Photoshop, I think. So actually, I just apply different materials. I'm applying this plastic, this ordinary light plastic. I think that looks slightly better. So I'm going to uh, render in this way. And then, so now I'm gonna click on this image over here. Uh, I'm gonna render it in 16K and channel. I want all of this to be rendered. Okay, and let's see how that would look with this. Okay. Okay, so now the rendering is finished. I'm gonna save the file and close D5 render and open Illustrator file to create the hybrid exploded Axon drawings. Now I have Illustrator open. I'm just going to, I'm gonna open the PDFs that I exported earlier. So all of these. So I'm gonna start with heavy. So change the name to heavy. Okay, and next one is medium. So medium. Change that to making sure paste remember layers is checked. And I'm going to copy this by Control C. I'm gonna go to the heavy PDF layer, type Control F to paste the line in the same location as this file over here. And I'm gonna close this medium. I don't need to save that. And I'm gonna repeat the same process, medium right. So first change the name of the layer and select everything, Control C to copy, go to heavy line weight file and type Control F to paste the lines in the same locations. And I'm gonna do that for all the other files. Okay, so now I have all the layers copied over here. I'm actually gonna bring the heavy to the top, heavy right. Dash line should be kind of somewhat bottom. I'm gonna bring the medium over here, the medium right, light ground over here. So this is the kind of order that I want to have, and I'm gonna select all the heavy uh, lines on the heavy by left clicking on this circle, and then I'm gonna change that line weights to 1. Heavy light. At the moment, I'm gonna set this to 0.75, but I'm gonna come back to this to figure out what's the appropriate line weight that might be. Medium is 0.5 and also medium light is 0.35 and light should be 0.15. So it should be 0.15. Light ground is also 0.15. And then the dash line should be 0.15. The line weight should be 0.15. But here I'm gonna change this. So here, this is a stroke. If you don't see this, you can click on this window. You can click on this window over here and click on this stroke, and you should usually see this option pops up. What you want to do is you should, if I go back to the layer over here, select all the lines, go to this option panels for the stroke. If I click on this dash lines, that make these lines dashed over here. So then like let's just say like if I type 3, that creates the dash lines, the 3 point lengths, and the gap is also 3 point. That looks okay-ish. Maybe 2 is slightly better, I think. Okay. So that's how you can create the dash lines in the Illustrator using the continuous line, export a continuous line from Rhino. Now coming back to the heavy light. So this guy over here, it feels like it could be okay, but maybe I think 0.75 might be too much. So maybe zero point 0.5, which is same as medium line weight, could be okay. Would be nice to have some kind of distinguishing between medium and heavy. So let's see, maybe 0.65 could be all right. Yeah. Okay, that could be okay. So that gives us this very slight difference between medium and heavy light, which is quite, I don't know. I think I'm being picky, but like that's something you guys might want to think about. Anyways, that's how you can set the line weights for the exploded accents. And then I'm going to bring in the render export the Axon view. So let's see. Um, two. So I'm just going to bring this here. Okay. So I'm going to change the name of the layer to rendering and bring that to the bottom of the layer over here. And I'm going to um, press Shift and left click the corner to scale the image down. And I'm gonna press Shift again and kind of click one of these corners and then rotate the image by 180 degrees. And I'm gonna just kind of keep scaling down the image to um, match the drawing over here. Okay, see a little bit more. Okay, right. So this seems like it looks okay. Yeah, so that's what you want to do. And I'm gonna change the opacity of this image to maybe 45, so that might look a bit too much, maybe 75. Yeah, and I'm not sure, I'm kind of still debating if I want to have this background in a gray or not. I think you can always remove this background um, in Photoshop as well if you wanted to. Uh, but yeah, so that's how you can create, and of course, I can create if I create new layer and then create this rectangle of uh 16 by 10 like last time. So Control Alt to bring this ruler out. I'm gonna change that to the inches and select this to change the size of this rectangle to 16 by 11, 10 over here. And then I'm gonna select this and that the image rendering image, and then press Control 7, which is the shortcut for the clipping mask. And yeah, that's how you can kind of uh, create this exploded accent over here. And obviously, I probably have to cut this portions of the lines off and whatnot. And I actually didn't move this to the center of the image. So I might have to do that by if I double click, I can just change the location of the frame over here, but not moving the image rendering itself. So then if I type this, x is half of the 17, so 8.5 by 5.5 is that would place this frame in the middle of this 11 by 17. And if I hit escape, I would get out of the editing mode of this uh, cropped view over here. So yeah, anyways, so that's how I would create this exploded accent, hybrid exploded accent. Thanks.